What is the difference between sadaqah and zakat?
By definition, zakat means to purify, to increase. It means goodness, it means blessing. And sadaqah comes from the root word sidq, which means sincerity. So it is the sincerity and faith of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Zakat, by definition, according to Islamic Sharia, is an obligatory charity which every Muslim who owns more than the nisab level of surplus wealth, if he has it with him for a year's period, he has to give 2.5% on it every year. As far as sadaqah is concerned, it is an optional charity. Zakat is also worship of Allah, obeying the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sadaqah is also worship of Allah, it's obeying Allah, but it is voluntary. The major differences between zakat and sadaqah is that there are certain conditions required. For zakat, number one, it is given on certain goods. For example, gold, silver, ornaments containing gold or silver, merchandise. It can be business activities, farm produce, cattle, and all the categories. Whereas sadaqah, you don't have to possess any wealth that you have to give sadaqah. It can be just given sadaqah. Point number two, in zakat, these properties and surplus wealth should be with you for 1 full year, then you have to give zakat. Sadaqah, there is no necessity of any particular wealth being with you for such and such a period. You can just give it without any time period. Point number three, you should have a nisab level of these wealth. Only when it reaches nisab level. For example, if you have gold weighing 85 grams, then you have to give zakat. Or silver, 595 grams. If it's less than that, no zakat is there. Sadaqah, irrespective of the property you have, less, more, irrespective, you can give voluntary. The other difference is zakat can only be given to the 8 categories who are permitted to receive zakat in the Quran. Surah Tawbah, chapter number 9, verse number 60, the poor people, the needy, etc., which we discussed earlier. Sadaqah, it can be given to anyone. It can be given to the categories of zakat, it can be given to the categories outside zakat. There is no limitation, no binding whatsoever. Point number 5. If a person who is liable to pay zakat and does not pay zakat and he dies, then his children, his heir, have to see to it that the zakat is paid off. If it's from his property before distributing the wealth, it should be paid off. That's a liability, which is not the case of sadaqah. Person who intends to do sadaqah and he dies, his heirs need not fulfill that. It is his own intention. If they want, they can. It's optional. Number 6, if you don't give zakat, which is the pillar of Islam obligation, it's compulsory, you'll be punished for that. As Allah says in Surah Tawbah, chapter 9, verse number 34-35, you'll be branded with the fire from hell, with that gold on which you haven't paid zakat, which is not the case in sadaqah.